Hey there everyone, welcome back to Toko's Reviews, and today we're going to talk about one of the latest MacBook that I got since last year around December. As you guys all know, on my previous review I did a review of the latest MacBook Pro 16-inch. Now I got the same 16-inch but with different hardware, and this review is about what I think makes this better than my previous one. And if anyone out there has this MacBook, is it worth upgrading to the latest 2020 models? But if you have this MacBook Pro, I am not disappointed because everything on it is just great. So this is an overall review of that, and I want you guys to check it out. Let's go. Hey, just before we jumped into that, I totally forgot. This is not going to be an unboxing because I already opened it up and I already used it. But this is just a, you know what I mean. So here's some do's and don'ts. When I first got the MacBook Pro, these are the do's. I got a plastic cover for it, as you can see here. Let me get up closer so you can see. And this is a very good cover. It is slim, as you can see, and it actually protects your laptop, not from being dropped. If you drop this, it's going to damage it. But it protects it from scuffs, scratches, and stuff like that, and just all messed up all over the place. I just thought to point that out. So okay, let's go. Yeah. So the latest 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro does pack a big punch versus its older predecessor of early MacBook Pro 16-inch. I guess just jumping into the keyboard, that was probably the biggest issue of people having with the butterfly keyboard. I mean, speaking for myself and my experience, I've never had any issue with the MacBook Pro 16-inch with that butterfly keys. I mean, maybe I didn't use it that much to notice a difference, but just thought to mention that even with the new MacBook Pro Magic Keyboard, I do notice better clicking and responsive keys when typing. I do have bigger hands. Maybe that's why I don't or can't tell the difference between using it, besides the responsive and feel of the Magic Keyboard on the late 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro. How about that new Touch ID button and that new Escape button? Good job, Apple. So the second thing I wanted to talk about was the 16-inch Retina display. As you guys know, with the late 16-inch MacBook Pro of 2019, this one comes with 3072 by 1920 resolution, and this also has a P3 wide color gamut. What this does, this enables true life images and videos. Now, in order to achieve this, Apple must have a brighter screen. So this screen, it has 500 nits of brightness. So in order to and for Apple to achieve this, on the technical side, on the very screen of the late 2019 MacBook Pro 16-inch, on the screen, it has a mirror-like enhanced reflector sheet within the backlight. So what that does, it reflects over 98% of incident light, allowing the MacBook Pro to achieve 500 nits of brightness efficiency. Now, as you guys know, with high-end gaming laptops, they have to achieve this high brightness because so you can see the actual pixel to pixel color and lifelike images and videos, especially when you're playing games. And that's why Apple did this. So for editing and software editing videos and stuff like that, or graphic design or developing game, this is the type of brightness that you need in order to achieve that lifelike image that would give you a view of how people would see it when the project is done. Just to point that out. So the third thing I wanted to mention, just to be quick, is the Thunderbolt 3 USB port on the late MacBook Pro, where there's 4 of them. And just to let you know, this is faster, up to 40 gigabits per second than the Thunderbolt 2. This also can support output of 6K display, which is pretty impressive to any TV or monitor that actually support that, or your Apple display. Other thing what I wanted to talk about was battery capacity. It even got better for the late 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro. With 1100 watts, this MacBook Pro battery capacity can push up to 11 hours. Yes, but what they don't tell you, that 11 hours is only for browsing. Now, as far as gaming and doing workload of like video editing, graphic design, and stuff like that, the battery capacity will vary from that. So if you're doing heavy loads, it's probably best you plug it in. But if you're just browsing, go ahead and enjoy it. Most companies won't tell you anyways. We all know from experience, Apple is always one of those companies that makes small things go boom. So now let's talk about the speakers and mic array. This late MacBook Pro 16-inch has 6 speakers sound system with dual force canceling woofers. And it does sound like a Apple version of surround sound. To be honest, it's almost like a little mini surround sound in a laptop. It also has studio quality 3 mic array with high signal to noise ratio, which is pretty impressive. So here's a live footage that I shot of the sound that came out of this laptop. Check it out. So this is a raw recording of the audio, how loud it is. So let's check it out.
Where are you going?
Come right here.
We're
just gonna play this one out straight.
Bro, are we gonna lose? Nah.
Somebody do it! Brown, you jerk!
That's from the MacBook. Straight up. That is live video, the sound quality of this MacBook with the 6 speakers. And there's no speaker hooked up to this. That's insane. To me, that's very loud. So let's get a closer up close. That's almost like a surround sound coming from that MacBook Pro. That's insane. So here, let's talk about 2 things. Let's talk about the processor and memory, why this is important. So working at the speed of thought, guys, this only can be achieved by Apple working with Intel. And I'm talking about the CPU. Making the thermal design better for the Intel i9 CPU, pushing out 8 cores performance for longer periods of time. So to make it simple, it blows out all other MacBook Pros by only 2.1% according to Apple spec chart. I really thought it was 4 to 5%, but you guys know Apple, they're always holding back a little here, a little bit there for that money. Yes, it's true. So pretty much just keep in mind when running a lot of hardware like this, especially something that's this powerful for Apple, as far as internal hardware, you would get 28% increased airflow as shown here, and 35% more larger heatsink for better performance. And that's very important, especially when you're running a lot of power on one of Apple's latest MacBook Pros. So this part, guys, is very important when you have the CPU and the RAM. Remember I said these two have to work together in order to get the best performance? Well, when you're configuring or buying your new Mac, depending on your memory capacity, how much RAM going from 16 GB to 64 GB DDR4, you, my friends, will get a whopping graphic bend in reality. Takes bandwidth by 4.3 times. That is faster than 16 GB. Now hold on, Apple. Yes, it's true, but don't say that to us. That's unfair. I mean, 16 GB is also pretty good because of this. Let me tell you. It's dual channel DDR4 RAM. Apple didn't tell you that, but I did. So just having 16 GB is also pretty good, but having more, it's even better, especially the bandwidth you will get from the CPU to the RAM. So right now let's talk about the GPU, and what I mean by that is the video card. Now Apple does offer 3 versions of this. The first one is their AMD Radeon 500M series, which packs a punch also, which is not bad. Then they have their second version, which is the same, AMD Radeon Pro 5500 series, And then you have the fastest of them all is the Radeon Pro 5600 series. Now this is new, and this is the top tier performance GPU on the MacBook Pro Late Edition. And this one is 8 GB versus 4. And you know, with this 8 GB, this enables a lot of good stuff for the latest MacBook Pros for graphic editing, game editing, and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting to try out one of these. So I'll probably wait until I get some more funds, and I'll probably go ahead and configure me one from Apple, because they can pretty much go up to like 5 to 6 grand depending on your configuration. So just before I wrap up, I just wanted to mention this. Keep in mind that the flash storage on this, you can configure it when you buy one. There is the 512 GB, there's the 1 TB, there's the 2 TB, also there's the 4 TB, all the way up to 8 TB. You will also get a boost of 3.2 gigabits per second. That's the read speed that these flash storage can have versus SSD, which is pretty cool. And also, and not but least, with a USB port, you have a lot of option to buy these adapters, and by doing so you can pretty much load up more stuff than you would on a normal laptop. And check out this picture, tell me what you think. Hey guys, I hope this information will help someone out there that's deciding to get the latest MacBook Pro or something that's older. I will leave that primarily up to you, but I just wanted to say thank you for always following me and watching Toko's reviews. If you guys like content like this, please hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, because that would definitely help me out. And like always guys, all thoughts is from Toko's reviews. Peace.
Yeah, man. And your boy wanna try straight from the kingdom of Tonga.
Oh baby, hey, kai tuku ai waka, kai whai hakakau. He koe sinona, koe perfume moe vai whakanonga. Ki hoku loto, whonu, i he tae manonga. Teu kei piki pe